Humanity seething as the blood-stained criminals keep dealing hands of intertwined fates, leading them to death's gates. The cries of the fallen, a victory of those plotting rotten their deeds under the guise of the calling. Forced by power while the leaders in their tower hide and cower while smiling down at the innocent who frown. Treated as great humans, they kill, plunder and ruin. Hopes of futures now live in loss, a price that is never their cost. Dreaming in red, they rest peacefully in bed while soldiers are starving, being left before for dead. The calls of those past who gave up life's grasp for safety of false glass that guises the blast. Friends turn to ash as deep cuts run cold, as heroes unfold on lines for the bold, where the cowards' leaders' stories of heroism will never be told. Awakened from dreams, they're freed, awakened to thought of greed. They fancy a feast that gives a gluttonous release of sins they purposefully bear to cut through the tier of burden less fears. Above the world's laws, they continue unjust causes to replenish the losses from the citizens' family closets. Cries can be heard from families torn. Now a pin will be their reward as their loved ones follow the horde. Protection of their land, a guise of the grand plan of the unaccountable leaders whose death they do plan. While drinking their wine and toasting themselves before the blind, clapping is heard reminding them of fame. Another day, more humans signed away. They relentlessly play with fates they enslave, running their futures until in their golden graves. Long lines of cars within funeral plans. They are celebrated as heroes. Troops, soldiers and tanks, they run to their banks to spend money on them and give them the thanks that are not theirs to receive, as they so arrogantly believe. But whose true honor was stolen from sheep who follow, lock, flock and give up their flesh to rot. Dead in the land they relieved of life's plan, just to honor another death-dealing man who saw them as numbers in a plan, never seeing the loss of the family's response to their loved ones slayed for evils less brave. Sacrifice they would not as they control the plot. A countryman dead and gone away from the loves of the homes where they were raised, now dead and gone, swallowed whole in an unmarked grave. For in all of man's time, how many lost to war's design, and how many more will be lost in futures untold by cowardly leaders that sacrifice good souls for gold, leaving the families with a hole, just a scold if they don't sacrifice for their roles. Do it or die, there is no time to cry. Feelings for the weak have nowhere to hide. You'll do as you're told, and you'll only abide. If not, the families who lose will become the focus of doom to leaderless leaders who always abuse. Thousands of years of egos of leaders in the past. How much more will humanity bear before they decide they're done with the fear and loss of the love of those they hold dear? Sacrifice, but don't speak, or their soldiers will seek, and you'll become the food found in the war machine that leaves fields red and green, another stain on plains of pain where their lives lost, they'll never regain. Sadness, chaos, and a maddening descent, treachery through defense, a grim manipulation of a nation's funding spent. Promise of treasures and additions of land, nations go at nations, thriving on an uncivil thousand-year trend. Battles and wars for power to gain, only granted solitude through shame. They seal the fates of those within, simply for a lost hope of gain in the end. Cycles stuck in the sand, round and round they go like ants on a death spin. Round and round, going on egos and whims. But to what end shall their fates be sealed as they carry on the slaughterhouse merry-go-round? Civilizations after civilizations giving sway to that very deadly game where everyone pays. Until the day the last war is won, the only way found is when unity has come. An end within their grasp, they mock and they pass, blind eyes shining into a dark circular past. Over and over does power play, yielding little as onward they say. Marching into battle again, only the leaders bearing the win, even in losing they saunter to offend. Greed like a fruit and power the tree, they cling to war as if it's a needed release. Fleeting like wind, their minds akin to thoughts of glory to everyone's end.